Welcome back. It seems like ages since I've said this, but welcome. This is the QuarantineCast with Brian, Cody, and sends Craig for now. Where, you may ask, is Craig? Let me tell you, he's probably asleep, and that is not because he's an old man. Craig is actually doing mornings on WIBC in Indianapolis this week, and so he's going to bed early. But you can listen to Craig from 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern all this week on WIBC. It's WIBC.com. So there you go. He's doing a bang-up job over there in Indianapolis. The Motors, not the Motor City, but they do have a town called Speedway because the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is there. Cody, now that we've gotten Craig's plug out of the way, hello, how are you? You look fantastic. I've missed seeing your face.
Thank you. I do look fantastic. I can attest to that. I will.
Oh, can you? You can attest to the fact that you look fantastic?
Yes, you ditched half of your facial hair.
No, it's still there. It's just gray, so you can't really see it.
Well,
I still have the patch. I still have this. Last night, I actually put my hair in a ponytail because it's gotten so long. I've slicked it back now, but Debbie did not go for the ponytail look, which lasted about 38 seconds. I said, look at this. She said, yeah, that doesn't look good.
Wow.
So no ponytail. But yes. So let's get this out of the way. Happy birthday. Belatedly.
Hey, happy belated birthday to you too. Oh my God, I didn't even text you. I'm the worst friend.
Well, yeah, I noticed that you didn't post on Facebook. Which if you don't post on somebody's Facebook page for their birthday, do you really even care about them? That's the question that we posed today.
I don't use Facebook.
Oh, that's right. You don't use Facebook. But yeah. So mine was Saturday. Yours was Sunday. Saturday, you are forgiven though because you were doing a big thing. Did you do anything? Easter Sunday was your birthday. So Christ rose and your birth was celebrated. That is a confluence of events that doesn't happen all the time. Was there any special celebration because of the two colliding?
Yeah, I popped into Rockford, saw some family. Most people are on the vaccine train or they've had COVID or a little bit of both. So a lot less of the social distancing guidelines being practiced because we're in that weird in between period where it's like, well, can we hang out? Are you vaccinated? Oh, you're not vaccinated. Are you comfortable no, oh, you're not. Okay. So I can't see you. See, I'm vaccinated. Oh, but like, right. It's all weird. There's certain people I can hang out with and certain people that I don't know.
No, it is weird. And it's good now that Debbie, Molly, myself, my mom, we're all vaccinated. One of my brothers and his partner, she's vaccinated as well. So the two of them are vaccinated. So that's good. We got together with them for a little bit over, before on St. Patrick's Day, but right before St. Patrick's Day for my mom's birthday. And so it's getting better. But it was strange now as I'm watching the news today that I'm seeing, things are climbing up in Cook County and in the city, and they're saying, hey, guess what? If things keep going this way, because now the hospital beds are only at 22%, and if that drops under 20, guess what? We're going back to some of these shutdowns that we had before. I was like, what? But it's, I saw an interesting article today about FOGO. We hear about FOMO all the time, but this is the fear of going out. So people who even are vaccinated are still some are still a little hinky about it, but I don't know.
Yeah. For me, it's more assessing other people's comfort level on an individual level. But that said, I'll do anything.
Good, man. Cause we got some bourbon counties to drink to celebrate our birthdays.
We do.
Now everybody, that's actually what I did. So my birthday was Saturday and it started out very exciting, as you can imagine, because from the past, I'm a guy who loves to celebrate his birthday. And by loves to celebrate his birthday, I mean, I abhor it.
Yeah.
On a core level.
Visceral.
Yes, visceral. I hate it. But I've been working on myself too. So I'm evolving.
Right.
And this year, a couple stories overlap, but Debbie was down helping Molly get settled in her apartment in Chicago. We're in Chicago too. So in Molly's new apartment. Anyway, so I started my birthday by taking Debbie's car to Safe Light to get a chip in the windshield repaired. Very exciting.
Very.
But you know what? It was beautiful because I was by myself. Texted Craig quite a bit. We had a nice big text conversation while I sat in the waiting room by myself at Safe Light. That was fun. Then I went grocery shopping at the Jewel. So exciting. And by the time I got home, Debbie and Molly were here. And then the slap on a smile and enjoy your birthday part of the day began. But from the beginning, all I had said to them was, all I really want for my birthday. Normally, I ask for a piece of quiet.
You just want people to leave you alone. Yeah.
You want people to leave me. But this time it was more specific and time. It was time specific and not just leave me alone all day. This wasn't even a leave me alone. I said, all I'd really like to do at some point today is sit on the deck because it was so gorgeous, smoke a cigar and drink a Bourbon County. Because that's what I did last year on my birthday. I drank a Bourbon County. And yes, you should definitely do that. Yes, we will we will allow that to happen. I'm like, oh, great. Well, by this time, Molly is here, which means Walter was here too. I'm going to try to have Walter come up and make an appearance. And Molly went to the store. Debbie went up to take a shower. So I'm taking care of Walter, which is fine, except that in our backyard, he wants to put rocks in his mouth if he can, and then run around, or try to chew paint off the deck and then run around. And he's only about 8 inches, 10 inches off the ground, and he moves really fast, and I can't catch him. And so I was like, I'm not even going to be, and I had everything. I had brought everything out. Everything was set up. I had a 2019 wheat wine. I had a cigar. I had my music going. Everything was set for me to have my small window of birthday privacy. And I'm chasing this lunatic dog around the backyard. So I finally ended up getting to do it because Debbie came down. And he saw Debbie and he just ran to her and they snuggled on the couch. Because she was sitting out there. I said, well, you can stay out here. I don't need to be alone, because I had my laptop and I was so basic. I'm sitting there with my laptop reading a lot of generous birthday greetings from people on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And normally I just zip through them. But this year I took the time. I read who they were from and what they said. And I responded to each one. And so that was very nice. I didn't. And then my mom came over and and then we got sushi. And and that was it. And then Debbie and Molly went back to Molly's apartment, and it was me and the dogs again. That was it. Happy birthday to me. Some more solitude, which was great.
Well, I kind of participated because I did gift you a 2019 wheat wine the last time I saw you, didn't I? I think I did. Pretty sure I did. I hope I did. I meant to. No, I gifted you because remember, you bought a beer from me, and then I gave you two. I gave you one or two for just. As gifts.
I don't know if it was one of those Carmela, the Apple one, or I don't know. Either way, well, I appreciate it if that was the case. I don't know where it was. I've had the wheat wine I've had since 2019. That's been sitting up there, and I've been watching it. Janice, thank you. Jean, thank you. They're saying happy birthday to both of us. Cindy, happy birthday to both of us. Thanks, Barbara. The same. Marta saying we're good for 6 months per biotech Pfizer. Well, good. Then Cody and I are going to party for 6 months. Who knows?
That'll cover the summer anyway.
Yeah, that's where we're fine. Janice wished us happy birthday as well. So thanks to everybody for wishing us happy birthday. So that was my big birthday celebration, you also know that I am not a guy who enjoys receiving gifts. Makes me very uncomfortable. But I walk in the house and there's this giant Mylar Avengers balloon floating over the dining room table. And I was like, oh, look at that balloon. And then Debbie and Molly had researched this. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this. My favorite cake in all the world is a German chocolate cake. I don't have it much because nobody else in my family eats it. So it's one of those things that if I'm ever somewhere and they have German chocolate cake, I'll get it. But I don't usually get it at home. Well, I guess Molly had done some research and found, based on reviews and other articles, the quote-unquote best German chocolate cake in Chicago.
Nice.
And so Saturday morning, they got up and they drove up to, I think it's Lincoln Square, and they got this German chocolate cake.
I bet I know the place.
I know it's something cafe. It starts with an S.
Yeah, there's a couple cafes up there that I've been to, and I mean, there's that German strip right there. There's a couple
Yeah,
very
it's not
authentic.
far from the old Hofbrauhaus restaurant.
Yeah, and I know the area. I'm sure I know the rough location of where it was, but that is fantastic. And
It was
did it live up?
fantastic, and the cake lived up to its rep. I had some of it. Well, we had it Saturday night, and then Debbie got me tickets, got us tickets. We're going to go. Marvel is having a huge exhibit at the Museum of Science and Industry.
Nice.
So we're going to see I'm such a dork. I'm 37 years old, and I want to go see the Marvel exhibit at the Museum of Science and Industry. Ah, yes, Maureen says Cafe Saint Marie. That is exactly right, Maureen. Thank you.
Did you say you're 37 years old?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you say you're 37 years old?
I may have. I don't usually like to say my age, but
you're just 10 years older than me. Just like
always. I know. I can't believe you're 27.
Amazing.
It is amazing.
Pretty amazing.
So you went to Rockford. You saw family. You hung around the baby. How did the first Easter go with the baby?
Oh, yes, first Easter was great. Gave him a cute little outfit with a little tiny bow tie. Oh, you would have been proud. You'd have been proud. It was great. For those, it was a quick trip and then to Rockford, but I got to see family, which was nice. For those wondering why I was so busy Saturday, I couldn't wish Brian a happy birthday, which I usually do, by the way.
You usually do.
So I'm not a monster.
Well, let's just say I was not petty. I wished you a happy birthday on Sunday.
You did. And here's how tired I was Sunday. So when I texted you back, I didn't even say happy belated birthday back. That's how out of it I was. Here's how out of it I was Sunday. At one point on the way back from Rockford, I turned on to, let's say 290 East or 94 East, some easternly highway. And I immediately turned to my wife and I said, you've got to get up the GPS because I got on the wrong direction. Because I forgot that Lombard is actually east of Rockford. So that's one. Two, my cousin, Sarah, showed up at my parents to say hi. She dropped by with both my cousins, her and her brother, my aunt and uncle. And she brought her boyfriend, whose older brother hosted a radio show at Drake when I was program director. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I remembered the last name and I was like, oh yeah, I know your older brother. He's cool. So I talked to this guy for 10 minutes and he also went to Drake. So fellow Drake alum. And then about 5 to 10 minutes later, I, party hopped a bit, went back to my cousin and said, so when are we going to meet your boyfriend? The guy who I just talked to for 10 minutes. And she laughed and said, you are sleep deprived. And I was like, I am sleep deprived. So I was like, last week was a bender for several reasons. First of all, it was just a busy week at work, lots of extra stuff. Yeah. April Fool's Day, we released a very special episode on Curiosity Daily. I'm obsessed with April Fool's Day.
Yes, you love April Fool's Day.
It's like a 15-minute episode. I probably spent 20 hours of work on it, producing it. Yes. I was producing parodies. I was emailing people to get permission to use audio clips. Like it was a lot. Wow. So if you want to go to curiositydaily.com, the name of the episode is Why Does April Fool's Day Exist? If you're a big podcast listener, you'll probably think it's funny if you listen to lots of popular podcasts. If you don't, you probably won't get it, so just skip it. But for our fans, it was big. But the main thing, and so all of this is happening, and then Saturday, I officiated a wedding in person in downtown Chicago.
And this was for your Curiosity partner and friend of the show, Jonathan. What's Jonathan's last name? Pritchard, the illusionist, the mentalist, the man who has scared me with his dark arts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I knew that was going on Saturday. That's why I knew. And it's funny when we talked about last Thursday not doing the show and pushing it off one more week. You were like, "Yeah, my week is so busy." I knew it was leading up to this as well as work. So how did the wedding? Now I haven't done a wedding since yours, and I'm itching to get back in the wedding game.
Are you?
Yeah. Oh, I gotta get a few more weddings under my belt. So how did it go? I saw a picture that Jonathan posted of the two of them, but you were not in the picture.
Oh boy,
I felt bad.
either he or his now wife. So I mean, I officiated the wedding of my co-host Ashley, which is kind of funny because I produced for Brian, and Brian, officiated my wedding. And then I've got a co-host. I'm the executive producer of the show. She's the managing editor. And then she asked me to officiate her. So it's just like a little chain of co-hosts officiating each other's wedding.
Yeah, it's a lot of weddings that are hanging in the balance. God forbid.
No, it went great. I mean, it was a Zoom wedding, though. So it was a...
Oh, wow.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No. I figured, weren't you in the room?
I was the only person in the room.
Well, I attended a Zoom wedding. Our friend Jeff Carlin from WGN and his wife Christine got married via Zoom, and I went as a guest via Zoom, but the officiant and a few other people were in the room with them. So you were in the room with the couple? This
was a huge thing. They wouldn't even let their parents come. Whoa. So I got to see her in her wedding dress and like her, I'm the only person. Like them, that one friend of theirs running some computer stuff, but it went off without a hitch. I mean, they put a lot of time and effort into it, and they realized, thank goodness, unlike us when we started the QuarantineCast, the streaming is actually hard. They have a lot. I mean, as you can probably imagine, 2 performers. They have many friends in the entertainment industry, business that were more than willing to help. So it was great. Yeah, I show up. I actually helped the photographer with like the flash bulb. I was like,
nice
lights for the photographer. Yeah. And then I did the thing, they streamed it, and it's really cool. Cause if you're watching this or you're listening and you don't work remotely and do Zoom a lot, Zoom does these things called breakout rooms. Have you ever been in one of these?
Yes.
Oh, all right, cool. So,
and we use them at school too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. So it's like, let's say you've got like 40 people on a Zoom call, and it's exactly what it sounds like. They send you to a breakout room, and they'll take like 4 to 6 people on the call, and they just send them over to like a subset of Zoom. So now you're really in a tiny room with just a few other people. And then later the host of the meeting can just like click a button and kind of get everybody to return back to the main meeting. So they did that, and they assigned people tables like they would at a wedding.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's very cool.
Exactly. So it was like a virtual wedding table. And then after the ceremony, they had somebody running tech to spotlight the toasts. And family give toasts online. And then when they did the breakout rooms, they could hop to each breakout room.
Yes.
So the tables are talking, and then all of a sudden, boom, in pops the couple, and then they get to talk for a few minutes and then move on. And just like a real wedding, they only had like a minute at each one. And they're like, oh, we gotta go. So
that's classic.
Yeah, but it went off without a hitch. They seemed happy with the ceremony. Keeping in mind that they had like, for my wedding, everything's kind of handled. And, on wedding day, right? Like the saying is like, don't bother the bride or the groom with anything, right? There were no details, right? They were kind of they had to have details in mind, right? So I think part of them was a little distracted, not like distracted during the ceremony for the most part, but I think at the end, like they're just like wrapping so much around their head of like this worked and like this person, all that. So they weren't like effusively like, oh my God, that was the best ceremony ever after. But I think it's just because they were like just so like there's so much energy they were outputting. But anyway, my indication is they were very happy. I was very happy with it. Good.
How long did you work on your comments? Did you do any jokes? Did you get any laughs?
So long. I start Curiosity Daily by saying, hi, you're about to get smarter in just a few minutes with Curiosity Daily from curiosity.com. I'm Cody Gough. So I started the wedding ceremony by saying, hi, because it's like cameras up on me. And I was like, hi to the camera. And then I said, you're about to get married. And Ashley looks at me and kind of nods. And I paused for a second and I go, in just a few minutes. And she thought that was like the funniest thing. That was like the highlight of the whole ceremony.
Oh, there you go.
Just said it exactly like the cadence of our podcast. So after that, it was smooth. I had a couple little things here and there, but that was very, very proud. So
there's pressure. People don't understand. It's not, if you're a priest and you've done a million weddings, you don't really care. But when a friend of yours asks you to officiate their wedding, there's a lot of pressure you don't want to be a chump. You want to bring the heat.
No, and you were not a chump at mine. So
No. I was, well, thank you. That's not what I was saying it, but I'm sure you didn't, I'm sure you were not a chump either, but you put a lot of thought into it to try to get everything all set like that.
Spent a long time on it. Yeah. So
and that's weird and you can't, the only response you're going to get is from the couple or maybe the tech guy and photographer if they're paying attention.
That was the thing, because I've done 2 weddings before, and in the scripts essentially for the ceremony, I would write in parentheses to couple or to crowd, kind of. But I was reading through it, and I used my past ones as references, and I copied things and changed things, and just but then I kind of had to redo it because I'm looking at it and I'm just like, I'm the only person in the room with these two. I need to be talking to these two as much as possible, Yeah. Not that you shouldn't in a normal ceremony, but you know how it is.
Yes. You want it when there's people in the room, you want them included.
Yeah.
So when they're, like at your wedding, you and Casey were there, but there were your families and friends. And so you want everybody to feel like they're involved. You don't want to ignore the people, because then it'd be like you were on TV, just like you were.
Yeah. So it was it was cool. It's cool. So man, a lot has happened in the last 2 weeks.
There's been a lot going on.
Had birthdays. My wife got COVID. Maybe.
Wait, what? Hold on. Stop. What?
Yeah. So this is weird.
Oh no.
She saw some family a couple weeks ago, and then came back, and then she got a test. And my now 7-month-old, my son turned 7 months old on your birthday.
Wow. Very cool. Happy birthday, young Cody's son.
Yeah, kind of birthday to
Happy
him.
7-month-old birthday.
Yeah, so she took him to visit family. I actually had a couple of days as a bachelor. If
I remember that.
We talked when I was.
We talked right before you were going to be a bachelor, and we were going to try to get together last weekend, but then thankfully we didn't plan on it because of the wedding and everything else. But yes, I knew you had a few days solo.
Yeah.
And I think we texted the day that Casey was coming home.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So she gets back. She and the kid get tested. Rapid results test says they're negative. Great. Cool. 3 days later, she gets a positive result. And it was like, Cody better go get a test. So I go get a test. Same place. Rapid result, negative. All right. Well, rapid result's not quite as accurate. Maybe it was a false negative.
Have you had your second shot yet?
I got my second shot 5 days after she got back.
Oh, man. Okay.
So I think I got the test on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I was supposed to get it the following Monday. And I was like, well, if I come back positive, can I, will they let me into CVS to get their Walgreens to get the shot? I didn't know how it's going to work. Anyway, my lab test comes back negative.
Okay.
So while I'm waiting for while I was waiting for the result, we noticed, my son's actual result came back negative.
Yeah.
Her whole family's results come back negative. So no one has gotten it. And it's like, this is weird. So I was like, you should just we went to one of those kind of those pop-up COVID test things, like the big banner, drive up and we'll probably charge insurance companies $8 million to, do this $5 test or whatever scam it is. I don't know. I don't feel great about them, but I was like, I don't know about this pop-up drive-through deal. Go to Walgreens or CVS and just get a second opinion.
Yeah. Unless I went to a drive-through one, but it was the huge state-run National Guard deal.
Yeah,
and these guys were not messing around.
I'm sure they're all legit, but
no, I get what you mean. It's
well, yeah, it was all the paperwork I had to fill out. I'm like, how much is this going to end up costing me?
Yeah, that seems. So where'd she go for her second test?
CVS.
Okay, CVS.
3 days later, CVS comes back. You're negative. So I talked to my friend Blake. Now I'm sure don't say in the comments maybe it was a false positive, because my friend is a cardiologist who's gotten tested more times than everyone watching this combined because of his occupation. Trust me. He insists that is a near zero impossibility. Just the way these things are administered, he's just like, there's no way. Unless
no way to have a false positive.
No way to have a false. He's like, unless there was a monumental mistake, but it's it's a vanishingly small chance. Like if you test positive for COVID, you're pretty much positive for COVID. So
Okay.
I figure the only thing I can figure is that she had it like a month and a half or 2 months ago. And that when she got the test, like, she had it or whatever, maybe was contagious for a couple weeks or whatever, but it stays, you can test positive for up to like 45-ish days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking is, like I said, she had it like 2 months ago. She tested on the tail end when she got back. And then when she retested, then it was out of her system.
So she never got sick?
No symptoms. No.
Wow.
Well, she did get sick because our son gets sick all the time because he's a baby.
Right.
So we're all walking around with head colds.
Yeah. Babies are just germ factories. I don't trust them.
Right. I don't trust them either. I had shortness of breath. It turns out that's because I'm horribly out of shape. So I
empathize with that.
Yeah.
When did you get shortness of breath? Walking up the stairs? Just laying down?
I've not been taking good care of myself, but I went for a run today, so I'm on the up and up.
Very nice.
But
well, yes, anyway. The dogs and I've started walking again, so it's time. Got to get back in shape and see what's happening. So now we're back to Easter. So did the Easter Bunny come to Rockford, or did he come to your house?
We went to
Rockford.
Rockford.
Did he not come at all?
No, we went to Rockford because, we got the all clear before Easter. She was allowed to see, by the end of March, it was all, whatever. Either way, even if she had just had it. So, but it was a strange, like, little journey we had to take weird. Over a week.
And now she has not been vaccinated, correct?
Right.
Is she going to get vaccinated? So she hasn't. So you're vaccinated. Now you're fully vaccinated. So you can hang out with people who are fully vaccinated and people at low risk, which it would appear now that your wife is low risk because she had it.
Right. And like,
I guess, right.
By the logic of her. So my friend also said that the in-home transmissibility is like 40%.
Okay.
So like if you get it, there's like a less than half chance your wife would get it. Isn't that weird?
Right. Yeah, that is weird.
It's insane.
What are they sleeping in separate bedrooms?
It's completely insane. No, that's just the way it is. It's completely insane. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, now they're also saying that, we all panicked and bought all the Lysol wipes and swabbed down the groceries and stuff. And it's almost impossible to get anything from the service. But I just shrugged that and go, yeah, they didn't know at the beginning. Nobody knew anything about this. It was like, so, well, I'm glad she was okay. And I'm glad the baby didn't get it. I didn't know babies could get it, but I'm glad he didn't get it.
Well, they can get it. They're just going to be fine with it.
They're fine. So he was all dressed up. Did you get a picture with did you get a picture with the Easter Bunny?
No.
Where
would I go to see an Easter Bunny? Do they have Easter Bunnies this year?
Yes, I think they did, but I think you had to, you couldn't sit on the Easter Bunny's lap. You had to sit in front of the Easter Bunny, like on a bench in front of the Easter Bunny, and there was glass. I think the few pictures I saw.
I have to open my sliding glass door because it is 1,000 degrees.
I have both my windows open in the office.
1 second.
Yes, go ahead. I will try to fill things up. Just a reminder, we told you that Craig is on WIBC all this week from 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern. You can go to WIBC.com. Friday night, I am doing a short show before the Brewers game on WTMJ. I'll be on there from 6 to 7:30. So hopefully you can listen then. There might be a special guest. I'm not promising anything, but I think it's going to happen and you'll have fun. And don't forget, every day you can hear Cody on the Curiosity Daily podcast. That's at curiositydaily.com. So all the plugs now have their own little caption. So it's very, very exciting. Are you better now? You getting some breeze?
Dude, it's like 80 degrees outside.
It's so nice to have all the windows open. Little humidity. No, this is why I get mad at the weather monkeys. So they were calling for rain late today and tomorrow. So I was looking and I had to put down some weed and feed, some crabgrass, halts kind of stuff. And it says to put it down 2 days before it rains. And so I'm looking at the weather forecast. I'm like, all right, Thursday it's going to rain. Tuesday I'm going to put down the stuff. So yesterday I put down all the fertilizer, And then it didn't rain today yet, which it was supposed to, and it better rain tomorrow. I'm trying to be diligent with my groundskeeping routine, and nature is screwing me. Nature and Cheryl Burton, or Cheryl Scott, rather. Not Cheryl Burton.
I don't know who that is.
Cheryl Scott is the weather lady on Channel 7.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't want to make fun of Cheryl. I don't want to make fun of Cheryl Burton. I'll lose my job like Mark Giangreco. So
I use the weather app on my iTelephone.
I do as well. But since you know I'm still a guy who enjoys the mainstream media, I like to I'll watch the weather. Because I'm also an old man. I got to see what the weather's going to be tomorrow.
It sprinkled here today.
Did it?
Yeah,
it looked like it was going to rain when I took the dogs out. It was getting cloudy and the humidity was up. And I thought, all right, dogs, let's go take this walk before. I'm trying not to burp. Let's go take this walk before it rains. Well, then it never rained. So I was not happy.
Tomorrow.
But we'll see. Tomorrow's going to rain.
80% chance where I'm at.
That's
supposed to rain all week.
That's fine. Then I'll come back next week and complain that it rained too much.
Sure.
I'm never happy.
Well, if it floods, Mike said that he can hook us up with a douche canoe.
Yeah, Mike got us each a douche canoe. I told him I'd send him your address so he can drop him off at your house. Yeah,
perfect.
You got the big backyard. We can put them up on like sawhorses, turned upside down so they don't collect water, and they can be out in the back, way in the back of your backyard. And then we'll take them down. I'm sure there's a river near you somewhere, a creek, stream.
It's a crick.
A crick. We'll go down to the crick. We'll canoe down the crick.
Mm-hmm.
The West Suburban Crick.
That's where I take the clothes for a wash. A wash.
You take them down to the wash, and then you have soda. You have a Coke in a sack. I'm drinking a lot more Coke now that they have. I've always been a Pepsi guy, but now that Coke has taken a stand, I'm drinking Coke now.
Is it what, the coffee Coke?
I'm woke, huh? No,
you're drinking coffee Coke to get woke because of the caffeine.
No,
Jolt?
You know I'm all woke. I'm nothing if not woke. No, they since the All-Star game got pulled out of Atlanta, and Coke and Delta and all are protesting the new restrictive voting laws down there. I know this is all news. I shouldn't bring it up. People are all
no. I know about that.
Right. So I'm drinking more Coke. Debbie and Molly. Debbie drinks Coke Zero like it contains the antidote. So we do our part to support Coca-Cola in this house. Back when I was drinking pop all the time, though, I was a dyed-in-the-wool Pepsi guy.
Nice.
There's always Pepsi.
Well, you know my allegiance.
You're the do. You do the do.
Which is
Coca-Cola product.
No, PepsiCo.
Really? It's PepsiCo Mountain Dew?
Oh, you can. I stopped going to certain places because they serve Coke products now, like movie theaters. Yeah. Movie theaters used to get Raisinets and a Mountain Dew. No longer. It's all Coke. So now I sneak in a Mountain Dew and Raisinets because I end up getting them both at 7-Eleven for about a fifth the price.
First of all, when have you last gone to a movie theater? Second of all, I like the ingenuity of smuggling in Raisinets like you're the guy from Midnight Express. I don't want to know where you stick those Raisinets when you go in because I would think they would melt into one big globby Raisinette, which would be horrifying.
One time, Mellow Yellow is Coke's terrible take on Mountain Dew.
Mellow Yellow.
Not acceptable in any
way. I don't like either one of those. Debbie likes the Diet Mountain Dew too. She'll if for road trips, she'll go with the Diet Mountain Dew for the extra caffeine.
I can't do Diet regular Mountain Dew, but I can do Diet Code Red Mountain Dew, weirdly.
Okay. I don't like Diet Pop at all. That's why I just was like, I'll just not drink pop.
It's very weird. But anyway, what was I saying about Mountain Dew? Oh, the movie theater at the Jordan Creek Town Center in Des Moines, Iowa. I once snuck in a Chinese food dinner.
I would have punched you in the neck if I was sitting near you. I think people who bring those big meals into a movie theater are despicable. Unless it's one of those movie theaters that actually serves the food and you're sitting in a recliner. If we're in one of those garage-sized movie theaters and you come in and you've got your Moo Goo Gai pan and a couple pot stickers and an egg roll, I'm going to just get up and it's going to be like that scene in Animal House where John Belushi walks down the stairs, grabs a guy's guitar and smashes it against the wall and then just goes, sorry. That's what I would have done to your entire Chinese meal.
Well, You're just jealous.
Just so you know.
Because everyone smelled the sweet and sour chicken. Wait, you wouldn't be able to smell it because you can't smell.
I'd hear you with the containers. I'd hear your chopsticks snapping together. I'd know.
No,
I would not be able to smell it. I got busted once because I brought in a bag of Skinny Pop microwave popcorn, and I guess I had burned it a little bit. But I had popped it, I don't know, 45 minutes before I got in the movie theater, and I opened it up, and some guy way down front goes, "Who burned the goddamn popcorn?"
And
I guess,
but you didn't get thrown out, right?
No, I just had some ignoramus. But no, I don't think. Listen, I don't believe you. I don't believe you should be going into a movie theater. I'm not above sneaking in some candy, or like your Mountain Dew. I think that would be fine. But you come into a movie theater with a 7-course Chinese dinner, you got a Peking duck that you got to lay out and have a guy come with a Ginsu knife and butcher it up for you. No, stay home, eat your dinner beforehand. What made you bring Chinese food into a movie theater?
I got off work at like 6. The show was at like 6:20. I worked in the mall at Cold Stone Creamery, adjacent to the movie theater. Our policy was serve everyone in line until there's no more line, even if it's the end of the day and there's 30 people in line. We were voted number 1 or 2 Cold Stone Creamery in the country for customer service.
Well, look at that. All right.
Customer service pro. And then we were in the food court, obviously. So pop over to Panda Express, sneak in a little bit of sweet and sour chicken into the movie. Call it a day.
Wait a minute. You went with sweet and sour rather than the orange chicken from Panda Express?
I've gotten smarter now.
Yeah. If you're going to Panda Express, you got to go orange chicken.
I actually like the sesame chicken.
I like their black pepper chicken. I'm not going to lie to you. It seems a little more healthy.
Yeah.
But the orange chicken is not to be outdone.
That's fair.
It's unbelievable.
Orange chicken, though, is like playing Russian roulette when you order it at other places.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Because one, I don't like the places that put the sauce on the side. Part of the orange chicken experience for me is when the sauce soaks into the breading around the chicken and it becomes a coagulated glob. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for orange chicken, like Panda Express. But some places you'll get, like if you carry out, you'll get a container with just the deep fried chicken stuff and then another thing with the sauce. And it's like, no, I want it all to steam together. Do we differ on that?
No, I'm good. I'm in total agreement. I have nothing to add.
Okay.
Back to Mountain Dew. I won't eat Arby's anymore either, by the way. And Arby's is really delicious.
Oh my God. What happened to Arby's?
Because I used to get a chicken bacon Swiss, curly fries, and a Mountain Dew. And now that I don't have Mountain Dew, they switched to Coke, those traitors. And you know what's really weird about that? If you look at their Twitter feed, their whole marketing gimmick now is they'll cut up boxes. Arby's, the Arby's box that the sandwich comes in. They'll cut up the box so it's in the shape of like a Dragon Ball Z character or like a video game character.
Wait, I got to stop. Oh, maybe I haven't. I had an Arby's on the drive back from New Orleans last week. There was no box. Maybe that's the chicken sandwich. Maybe it's the big fancy chicken sandwich that you get. Because I got a beef sandwich. It was just wrapped in foil.
Oh, no, I get the box sandwiches.
Again, it might not have been Arby's. It might have been a guy in a van, but it was fine roast beef.
That's fair. So their whole marketing gimmick is basically posting nerd culture memes to try to get nerds to eat Arby's, but nerds drink Mountain Dew.
If we know anything about nerds, it's that they drink Mountain Dew.
It's that they drink Mountain Dew and that they can't stop, won't stop GameStop.
Oh, look at that shirt.
To the moon, baby.
Fine shirt. Can't stop,
won't stop. With GME on there. Yeah, dude. That's the Wall Street Bets guy right there. Let's go.
That is hilarious.
Going to the moon. My wife got me for this, for me for my birthday, and I love it.
Very nice. Beautiful. It's very colorful. Full chest logo on there.
The Wall Street Bets guy. I look like him.
Sure, yeah. You got to get some darker glasses.
Got to get darker glasses, but
other than that, you look exactly like him. So now you won't. All right, so you won't go to Arby's. You won't go to the movie theater. I think it's just that Coke just dominates the market.
Mm-hmm.
They're the big leader, so they get in everywhere. They could probably offer huge discounts for restaurant chains that take take that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's weird.
Do you ever have Jones soda?
I have in the past. It's not a usual thing. One of my brothers, when he lived in town, he fancies himself. Everything's got to be top of the line. So if we would go to his house for a party, if there was pop, it would be Jones. Like a sour apple or a root beer or something. And they're fine. They're delicious sodas. I just don't. I drink so little of it anymore. I did have a couple large Cokes on the drive home. Fast food Cokes. When
I'm driving, I eat crap.
Yeah.
To keep me awake. Is that normal?
Oh yeah. I mean, we'll jump around a little bit on the drive home from New Orleans last week when I was driving this truck. I had in the car with me chocolate covered peanuts, caramel corn. What else did I have? A lot of water. I didn't have coffee, water.
Cheese popcorn?
No, straight up. It was some of the same caramel corn that we had bought at Mardi Gras time that Molly hadn't eaten. So it was Cajun Pop chocolate pecan pie caramel corn.
Wow.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Well, I know you love cheese popcorn.
I hate cheese popcorn with a passion. I actually would punch you the same way for cheese popcorn as I would for your Chinese food in the movie theater.
Wow.
Debbie and Molly love cheese popcorn. I do like, I will amend this a little bit. There is a white cheddar Smart Pop that I like. It's low cal and it's white cheddar, and I like that. I don't like the orange. I don't know if it's the orange coloring. I don't know if it's the flavor. I don't really like orange cheeses, to be honest with you. In whether it's on something. Now, a nacho cheese Dorito, okay, I'm down with that at a limited capacity. But other than that, no, I don't cotton to the yellow cheese stuff, the orange cheese. So yeah, cheese popcorn, no way.
You know where you got to go. There is a popcorn poppery. I just made that word up.
What?
But there's a place that has like 30 different flavors of popcorn down in Galena.
Really?
The best place to visit ever. You walk by and you can smell it. Dude, yeah, you can smell it for a block. They've got like pepper popcorn. They put pepper on. They got like truffle popcorn. They got like birthday cake popcorn. They got all these different kinds of popcorn. They got like 20 or 30 different kinds of popcorn. Pretty good.
I am usually a purist when it comes. I love just straight up fresh caramel corn. Now, you pour some chocolate in there too, forget about it. I'm down.
What?
But yeah, like a Moose Tracks, like a chocolate covered caramel corn.
Oh, that's fair.
Ooh, stop it. Mike says beef jerky and peanut M&Ms for dessert on a road trip. Yeah, listen, those are both fine. The key to road trip food is it's got to be, you got to be able to eat it while you're driving.
Yeah.
Like even I stopped. I'm driving this big 15-foot U-Haul coming home. And it's got an 11-foot clearance, and that sign is everywhere. 11 foot. Well, drive-throughs are only like 9.5 feet. So I can't drive. I know getting into this that I cannot drive the U-Haul through a fast food place on the way home, which means I'm going to be eating truck stop food the whole way. Which,
wait,
yeah.
Why don't you just go into the fast food place?
Well, because Cody, we are in a global pandemic, and most places the lobbies are closed. But so I stop in West Memphis, Arkansas, on the way home. Now I'm driving this truck home, and I'm eastbound and down. I'm Jerry Reed and Smokey and the Bandit. I'm going to town, and I had to have. You should have seen the setup I had just so I could listen to music, because this truck had crank windows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, crank up window. So
U-Hauls are not modern.
No.
They don't have XM radio. They got a tape deck and crank windows.
This one had AM, FM radio, crank windows. Thankfully, the seat was able to go far enough back that it also reclined a little bit. So even though it didn't have cruise control, I was not as miserable as I was when I drove the van back. So Debbie's closing the door. I guess I'm being too loud. To my house too. Oh, but all the windows are open. So they're sitting downstairs and they could hear me out the window. But listen, the neighborhood's getting a free show. Anyway, so in order to have music, I'm like, I can't just listen to AM and FM radio for 15 hours. There's no chance. So I have my phone charger cord that plugs into like a cigarette lighter. And I'm like, okay, but knowing that also, besides not being built for comfort and modern conveniences, U-Hauls are also not really soundproof. It's very loud in the cab of a U-Haul.
Yeah.
So I had a brick speaker, a Bluetooth speaker, but I had to find a way to plug it in. So I had gone to Walgreens before I left New Orleans, and I got a plug to plug into the second 12-volt power thing, like cigarette lighter, that just had a USB port on the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I plug that in, and I plug my brick speaker in, and I'm balancing the brick speaker up on the cup holder in the van, and I've got my phone mounted to the window. So I'm running my Bluetooth, and the whole thing was rigged up. It was crazy. But I got to listen to fine satellite radio the whole way home at a volume that I could actually hear. I couldn't use the phone, so 15 hours I couldn't make a call because it was the speakers wouldn't work, and I even tried putting in like little wireless earbuds that I have, and they wouldn't work. It was good. I didn't talk to anybody for 15 hours. But anyway, so I'm driving, and it's going fine. The drive, I'm hauling along in my big truck, and I get gas in West Memphis, and it was like 3 p.m. I hadn't eaten since about 7, so I was hungry. There's a McDonald's because I got gas at a truck stop, and I forget what weird off-brand restaurant they had for carryout at the truck stop, and I'm like, that's not going to work. So I drive across the street to the McDonald's, and like you, I thought, well, I'll just walk inside and get my food. That's fine. So I park the truck way out, and I walk over, and it's like, nope, the lobby is closed. But truckers, please follow the arrows around the building to the walk-up window. And I'm like, look at that. I'm a trucker. So I immediately came up with a CB handle, Hungry Bear #1, and I walked around. So they've taken the drive-through lane, and they've put some cones around, and they added a little window like near one of the exits. So you go up to the window and you ring a bell, and then you pray that somebody's going to come and help you. And by prayer, I mean, it took a while for somebody to finally come to the window. So long that I actually walked in front of a car up to the main drive-through. And I was like, is anybody coming this way? She's like, yes. So I don't even, but I decided I needed to get food that I could eat while I was driving. And I got probably 2 of the worst cheeseburgers I've ever had at McDonald's. It was almost as if the truckers' food had been kept in a cooler and they just were giving out, day old. Now the fries were unbelievably hot and fresh, but the 2 cheeseburgers they'd been sitting on a curb waiting to be picked up by some ne'er-do-wells. I don't know what they were like ice cold, and I thought one fell between the seats. It was just, boy, it was crazy.
Oh my.
Crazy. Yeah. But that's part of the driving, because we had driven our car down there, this was nice because you remember last time what happened when I was trying to come back from New Orleans. Got stuck in Memphis for 3 days in the ice. Yeah, we got stuck in the ice storm. So we're going down, and I'm looking at the weather for days beforehand. And we were supposed to leave at like midnight on Thursday. And we were going to drive down and be there by lunchtime on Thursday. Well, as I'm looking at the weather, this was 2 weeks ago when the horrific tornadoes came blowing through Arkansas and Tennessee and that whole area. And I'm looking and I'm going, well, we can't go then. So I had a graph out, and I'm looking at all the different weather forecasts for Memphis and for Mobile, and all these different cities, and watching when the tornadoes were supposed to pass through that area and when it should be cleared. So I said to Debbie, we're not going to leave till 10 o'clock Thursday morning, because that puts us in Memphis at about 5 or 6. I said, and by then, all the storms were supposed to have moved east by then. It was the amount of research I put into trying to decide when to leave rivaled or exceeded any research I did in college.
Sure.
For any paper, for any research I've done for this or for any other show I've been on.
That's a lie.
Well, that's true. But it was a lot. Well, it worked because we missed all the storms going down. We had a little rain in Illinois and everything else. So I'm feeling good. We get down there and it was great. And then the Friday was the day that I was going out with Walter. And Walter, as you know, is Molly's dog. And he and I decided we were going to have a day out because I didn't want to be around Molly's house while Debbie was helping her pack. There were things that I needed to do, but I could do them at different times. So Molly was working from home on Friday. Debbie was helping her get packed. So Walter and I decided we were going to have a day out. And, I don't have a grandson or a granddaughter to show, to teach the ways of the world. So I took it upon myself to teach Walter about my favorite things.
Ooh.
Yeah. So our first stop was at Fullberg Brewery, which used to be the Dixie Brewing Company. But because of modern times and becoming more aware of things, they changed their name to Fullberg, which is the area in New Orleans that they're in. And I didn't know it. It was the grand opening day of the new and improved brewery and beer garden and stuff. Walter and I had a ball. Oh my goodness. We got to the brewery. He loves to ride in the car. So he and I got in the car and we're driving and we stopped for gas. And then we get to the brewery, and the brewery grounds are gorgeous. They have a big pond with a walking trail around it. They have fire pits, a frisbee golf area. They have bocce courts. They have a huge stage and then a giant grass area with tables and chairs. Then a big tasting room inside, and outside another area with tables and chairs under an awning. So we get there, and Walter and I take Walter for a walk around the pond. We see some turtles. He goes to the bathroom. We're all set. Then he and I get a beer. Well, I get a beer. And we go and sit. We spent a few hours there, and they have a wonderful kitchen. So Molly had told me, like, I had treats and stuff for Walter with me and water. And Molly was like, he likes French fries. That would be, he enjoys French fries. All right. I got myself a dozen grilled oysters. And I said to the guy, do you have like a side of French fries? And he goes, yeah, you want a side of fries? I go, well, they're for the dog. And he laughs. So then he comes out a few minutes later. Walter and I are now sitting outside under a beautiful awning, enjoying ourselves. And he goes, hey, excuse me. I know you said that the fries were for the dog. He goes, but you're going to eat some of those fries too, aren't you? I said, yeah, but probably. He goes, oh, okay. Well, then I'll put the ketchup and stuff in there too, if they're not just for the dogs. So I'm eating my oysters and drinking my beer, and Walter's down sniffing around, and every once in a while he'd throw him a fry. And, we stayed there. We must have stayed, because I got a call then. We must have stayed there for 3 hours.
Wow.
Just sitting in the sunshine, drinking a couple beers. Walter was having a ball. Then, then I'm like, all right, well, where are we going to go next? And we were going to go to this other brewery in the Quarter. But when I got to the Quarter, I got scared. One, because there were a million people running around. Nobody looked like they were wearing masks. Walter was sound asleep. I didn't really want to wake him up. So I thought, all right, we'll go to a different brewery. So now we're going closer to Molly's house. We stop at Urban South Brewing. They have a nice big outdoor area. Walter gets his bowl of water and some treats, and he's just sitting around, and everybody loves to come up and talk to him. So we had a beer there. Then we stopped at one more brewery, NOLA Brewing. They had a band outside. So we heard some live music, had one beer there, got to chill out. Walter saw some other dogs. And then finally I text Debbie, it's about 7:00. And I'm like, hey, can we come back yet? Because I had texted her once and she was like, well, we're still kind of working. And I was like, okay, fine. We'll stop at another place. So I taught Walter all about driving around New Orleans, listening to live music, and drinking beers at breweries.
Why didn't I get to go?
I don't know. You could have come down with me.
I'm totes jelly.
I don't blame you. When a dog is having a better experience than you are.
Yeah.
That's something. Yeah. He was, so we had a big day out. It was Pops and Walter's big adventure.
Just one day though.
Well, yeah, just one day, because then the next day he did come with us to, we went to Parkway for Po' Boys for lunch, and he came with us then. And then Sunday night we went out to dinner at a place that was dog friendly that I had found. I was going to go because they supposedly had a dog menu. So I was going to go there on Friday, and then I looked at it, and it looked like the kind of place that, groups of young people go and hang out, and they're known for their brunches and their bottomless mimosas and stuff.
No.
Right. And I was like, yeah, Walter and I just hanging out there on a Friday afternoon would be weird. Who's the old man with the little dog? That seems odd. So we went there for dinner on Sunday, the three of us. And turns out they do have a dog menu because our waiter, who was a flake, but
I thought you were going to say who was a dog.
Our waiter was a dog, not a good looking man, very hideous scar. But so we're ordering and Molly orders something with fries for the dog. And he goes, oh, well, we have some dog items on the menu. So it was like going to Chipotle. They had a bowl. You could either get chicken or beef. And then it had brown rice, black beans, chicken, cucumbers, and small sliced tomatoes, all in a bowl for the dog. And we're like, bring us one of those for Walter.
What if like you were between two things on the menu? What if you said to the waiter, like, well, which of these two would you recommend?
I don't know.
Do you think the waiter had eaten everything on the dog menu?
Well, you could, because it was people food. It was just like a Chipotle bowl.
They can eat all that?
Yeah, well, they can. Will they is another story.
Yes, so they will, because they're dogs.
That's what you would think. So the guy brings out, and it comes out in a dog dish. And Walter immediately scarfs down every bit of chicken in there. Then he would pick out the cucumber, and he'd spit it out on the ground. And he did the same with the tomato. And then he'd go back and he'd sniff them again and put them in his mouth. He ate everything except tomatoes and cucumbers. He hated them. He kept putting them in his mouth. He'd make a face, then he'd spit them back out. So no cucumbers, no tomatoes for Walter. But the chicken, the red beans, and the brown rice, oh, man, he went crazy for.
Wow.
And then our waiter, who had been hit and miss all night, and I know this was his ploy to get back in my good graces, he drops the bill off and he goes, I bought Walter's dinner.
Oh,
thanks. I don't know if that makes up for the fact that you just, when I was trying to pay the bill, he had disappeared into the barn, was just working a couple girls. And I'm like, dude, I just want to pay and go home. I got to get out of here.
Were they hot?
Listen, my wife over there. What do if I wasn't working, if I'm him and I'm not working, sure, why not?
Yo, dude, look, if my waiter's blowing me off for two babes and they're smoking, that's more than, that's the thing. I would have given him a pass, especially if I see he's successful, right? If he's, working some magic, got some magic tricks, little hocus pocus, abracadabra, alaka, pants off. You know what I'm saying?
That wasn't going to happen.
No.
Oh, I'm just looking out the window because I guess Molly and Walter are leaving. Molly came over to drop. She had some stuff in her car that she had still had that she was leaving here. So she came over. She calls Debbie today. I want to come and bring that stuff that's in the car and get it out of my car finally. Debbie's like, okay, are we going to have dinner? You've only been, we saw you just the other day. Yeah, okay, come on.
Wait, what floor are you on right now?
I'm on the second floor of my home.
That's what I thought. You saw her walk. Okay.
Well, my window faces the street.
I see cars. A lot of cars. A lot of action at the Noonan car household.
I live right under an off-ramp.
Do you?
No. Why would it? No. What am I, a transient? Of course I don't live under an on-ramp. No, I just heard them talking because the windows are open, and I see that she's in her car. So Walter, I thought was going to make an appearance, but he did not. So he'll come back one day. Yeah. So I had a lot of fun with Walter, and we got everything done. And then we had hired. U-Haul has this service where you can hire somebody to load your car and then unload it. Because I told you last time we talked was right before the move, and I had sworn I was never doing this again.
You did say you were not going to, because I yelled at you.
You did yell at me, and rightfully so, because I had made no secret of the fact that I was never going to move her again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't. To be honest, I didn't do much down there. I took the headboard off, and I put a bag. I bagged up, put a furniture bag over the couch and the mattress, but nothing big, And I drank a lot with Walter, so that was great. So we had hired somebody to come and load the truck. And they were supposed to be there at noon. And Debbie and I had it all planned out. This was, Cody, the plan was fantastic because the weather was about 75 and sunny. And we figured it was going to take about an hour at the most to load the truck. And I made the best decision I've ever made. Well, one of the top decisions. Molly's house, as she was packing, was getting more and more full of boxes, as you would imagine. And she had a small apartment. So it was getting to a point. I said to Debbie, we had a hotel room booked for Monday night. I said, you know what? I'm booking the hotel for Sunday night too, because we need to be able to get a good night's sleep. And so the plan was Monday. We had gone to the hotel Sunday night after we had taken Walter out to dinner. Molly came too, but it was really about taking Walter out to dinner. Sure. And we go to the hotel. Everything's fine. We get up. Everything's great. We come to Molly's and do a few things. And Debbie and I go to pick up the U-Haul. And that went fine too, except I didn't, now everything's on an app. So you're walking around the truck and you're taking pictures of damage so that they can, see if you wrecked the truck. And they have stickers on some things that they've already checked. Whole big thing. But it's fine. And we get to Molly's and I'm able to park it in front of her house. So everything is set like an hour beforehand. So we're ready to go for these movers to arrive at noon. Noon comes, nothing. 12:30 comes. I say to Debbie, hey, why don't we check on this? Because Debbie had set it up. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, we're at the move that they're at now is taking a little more time, but they're going to be on their way very soon. Okay. That's fine. 1:00, because here was the plan. The plan was we were going to be done at 1:30. We were going to take the truck over to the hotel. And I chose this hotel for two reasons. One, it was only about a mile from Molly's house. And two, it had a huge free parking lot right across the street from it.
Nice.
So I was like, this is great. I can park the truck in the back of the lot and we'll be fine. So we were going to take the truck. We're going to park it in the back of the lot. Debbie and I were going to go and sit in a brewery and have a drink. And then when Molly got off work, we were going to have dinner and then go back to the hotel, and Molly and Walter were going to camp out at her place. Tuesday, we were going to leave. Well, that's always fun when I, make those plans. So long story short, the guys, we finally get a hold of somebody at their moving company at about 1:15. And they're like, yeah, well, the U-Haul that they were using won't start. And U-Haul is saying that they won't be there for at least an hour and a half to try to fix it. And we were going to send you a third guy anyway. And Debbie's like, well, can't you just send those guys? And like, well, are you going to pay for them to taxi over? Well, no, because then they're stuck here and we don't know where they're at. We don't know, where and the woman that Debbie was talking to was, well, you probably, what you need to do? You need to just cancel us and try to find somebody else. And we're like, try to find somebody else?
What?
The truck is sitting out front, blocking half of somebody else's driveway. And I'm thinking, I can't load this truck because I can't carry a couch by myself. And Debbie and Molly aren't going to be much help. Thank God Debbie gets on the phone with this, whatever the company is that works with U-Haul. And she finally gets through to them and they find somebody who can come that afternoon. It's going to cost a little more. It costs like $60 more. We're like, okay, that's fine. So then the guy, Debbie's on the phone with the actual mover. And he's like, well, we're at this stop. We're almost loaded up. He said, then we have to drive and drop it off. So we might be able to get to you about 5:00. And she's like, we have a really small place and it's not going to take you more than an hour. And he's like, all right, you know what? I'll squeeze you in. So we'll finish this and then we'll come to you and load your truck and then we'll go. Oh, great. So a little more time goes by and Debbie texts him any word on the ETA. He goes, we're going to be there in 12 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah. Till he texts back 10 minutes later. Oh man, I put in the wrong address. It's going to be 40 minutes.
What?
I'm like, what is going on? Now, you know how much I love New Orleans. You know how much I love it. But there is a different timetable. Yeah. Things move at a different pace down in the South, and especially in New Orleans. There's no real rush. So I'm, in a rush. But I think you'd be proud of me. I did not lose my cool at all. I just was like, are we getting somebody? And then the guys showed up and they were done in an hour. They had the truck loaded and That was it. But the truck we didn't end up being finished with the truck loading till about 5:30.
Good.
So there went our day at the brewery.
Wow.
Yeah. But we're back.
Did you make it to the brewery after at all? Or
No.
did you just, no?
No, Debbie and I did go and have some oysters for dinner. Molly didn't want to have dinner. But then Debbie, I'll wrap this part up. I'll wrap up the move with Debbie called on the drive home Tuesday and talked to the movers that were going to come and unload the truck at Molly's new building. And it's one of those high rises downtown where you only get a 2-hour window. And the truck is blocking the alley because they have a loading dock, but even the people at the building said, don't try to pull into the loading dock. Just pull up, stop in the alley and do it. So Debbie had explained to these guys, we only have a 2-hour window. This is what happened. We need you to, and don't worry, we'll be there. We'll bring our own dollies and everything else. And these guys showed up. God bless them. They were there at 5 to 10. They had all their equipment. In an hour and 15 minutes, they had taken everything up to Molly's apartment. Boom. And returning the truck was easy. So overall it was really good, except it was just time consuming. But now that was it. That I'm not even driving a truck anymore.
Oh, I'm going to hold you to that.
You hold me to that. Well, I know she's in this apartment for at least a year and a half. And it's a beautiful building.
Well, you say that now until she gets an offer for some high-powered job in Nevada in 6 months or something.
Well, sure, unless the company transfers her to their headquarters in Dublin, or San Francisco, and then she's got. But no, it's over, because then Debbie stayed there Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night.
What?
Trust me. So, and I know this is going to get me in trouble, but it's done and that's fine. So Wednesday, the plan was we'd take the truck back. We'd go back to Molly's. I would take Walter because Walter hates boxes. Walter hates pretty much anything that is out of the ordinary. So he freaks out. So I was going to bring Walter back here, which was fine. And then Thursday, he'd be back because then Molly would bring Debbie back home. That was the plan, and take Walter back Wednesday night. Because Thursday I was going to pick up our dogs. Anyway, so Debbie gets back here with Molly Wednesday night and says, I'm going back to Molly. Because Debbie had to work Thursday and Friday. But Molly had asked her Molly was off, but Molly was like, will you just kind of help and be here to give me some advice or answer? So Debbie went and stayed at Molly's Wednesday night. And then she was like, well, it doesn't make sense for me to come back because I'm going right back to Molly's on Friday. I'm like, okay. All right. That's fine. So then she stayed. And even Saturday after my birthday dinner, she went back down there to do the final. So
she was gifting you more alone time.
Yes, I was. But by then I had picked up our hounds from my mom's house. So, but they don't eat rocks and make me chase them around the backyard. No. They basically just lay on the couch and look at me, and I sit in the chair and look at them, and we go, everybody good? Yep. And then that's how it goes.
Wait, so now she's going to live in a high rise with a dog?
Yes. So now she's on the, but listen to this. This building has a dog run. She's on the 4th floor. On the 6th floor in the garage, there's a dog run. So she doesn't,
What's a dog run?
A dog run is a huge area of this parking lot that is fenced off. It's got spongy astroturf. So the liquid waste from your dog drains through this grass. They hose it down. They must hose it down a bunch because every time I've been out there, it's wet. So they're hosing it down. There's an agility thing for the dogs if they want to run up and down. There's some toys in there. There's 2 nice benches that are bolted into the ground for you to sit and let your dog run around. So she doesn't have to, like yesterday and today, she took Walter on walks outside and stuff, but just in the morning or late at night, all she has to do is go up 2 floors, and take Walter right out there. She doesn't have to go outside. So like in the winter or in a monsoon or whatever, Walter can do his business right in the building.
Did you happen to go by Tribune Tower when you were down there?
No, because she's farther south than that.
All right, that's good. Cool. I saw it the other day when I was walking to
what did you see?
wedding. Just not as many walls as there used to be. That's for sure. I'm just glad. I mean, the scaffolding is finally away off of Michigan Avenue.
Okay.
For like 2 years.
Yeah.
Had scaffolding all along Michigan on the sidewalk in front of the tower. So that's done. The site is still getting pretty much ripped out. You can see inside it. There's nothing there yet. I don't know. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But
no, I haven't gone by. I ran into Wendy Snyder yesterday.
Oh, all right. How's that?
At Walmart. Well, you know, two big time radio personalities. That's where we shop, Cody. That's kind of extra money we got rolling around.
Yeah. Sure, why not? I gotcha.
So I'm walking by, and it was like I know the town Wendy lives in, and this was not at the Walmart where either of us live. It's near where I used to live, but it was on the way to some. So I'm in the Walmart, and walking down the aisle, and I look at this woman, and I'm like, that woman looks familiar. And then I'm passing, and I turn again. I go, oh, that's Wendy Snyder. And I'm like, I'm not going to bother her. So I went and I picked up one last thing in the car. And I was like, nah, I got to go back. I got to say hi to Wendy. I haven't seen her in a long time. I like Wendy. So, you know, she's wearing a mask. I'm wearing a mask. And I look a lot. I've got hair now and that I didn't. And I walked by, I go, Wendy? And she's like, yes. And I could tell it was that kind of yes, like, oh, you know, one, I don't know who you are. And two, what are you, another fan that I got a glad hand. And I'm like, it's Brian Noonan. Oh, hi, Brian Noonan. And we talked for probably a half hour.
Wow.
Just standing in the Walmart. Yeah. It was very nice. She was, I always, like I said, I always liked Wendy. I liked working with her when I would fill in for Bill. So it was nice to see her. She's like, what are you doing here? And I was like, well, yeah, this is the one that I don't, I usually go to this other Walmart, which is closer to where you live. I think I like that one better, but this one is close. And I was driving by. I said, what are you doing here? Well, I was looking for these particular tank tops and they were supposed to have them in stock at this Walmart, but they don't. And I'm like, oh man, life blows.
I ran into someone at a department store like a month ago.
Who?
Talked to this person for 10 minutes. No idea. Not even
who it was?
Remotely. I remember the name this person gave me. Just nothing. No idea if it was from radio or.
Hold on. What? Oh, it's somebody who knew you.
Someone who knew me was like, hey, Cody, I mentioned a couple things that I've been doing. I had no idea what I just, Do you
think it was just a fan?
No, I don't have those
fans.
No, it was someone who knew me who was like, hey, because I was like, oh, I didn't recognize you with the mask. It's someone I've, I don't know. I've used that line like 4 times, but, in a couple of those times I've recognized the person and we've had a nice chat. I recognize.
Was it Max Armstrong?
Oh, man, it might have been. I think I scared Max away from this broadcast.
You might have.
He hasn't commented lately after I came in real hot for a couple months there.
You were off. Well, you came in hot a couple weeks, but that's, but we've been off for 2 weeks. That panicked somebody. We were off last week and I posted a thing about why we were off, that it was schedules and moving and all this stuff. And there was a picture of me with a moving truck. And I get to my mom's to pick up the dogs. Are you sick? Were you sick? I'm like, what do you mean was I sick? Well, so-and-so, my godmother, who is also in her 80s, saw that we weren't on last Thursday and either didn't read the whole thing or and called my mom and thought I was panicked, thought I was sick, and that's why we weren't during the show. And I was like, no, Ma, Thursday I was over at Molly's, hanging pictures and doing all kinds of stuff for her. That's why I didn't come to pick up the dogs till Friday morning. I wasn't sick at all. Oh, that's why I think some people just shouldn't be on social media. It's too much.
I don't think it's a good. I don't think it's. I'm not. See, I'm not on Facebook. And then I like went on Facebook to a couple of my friends only communicate on Messenger for some reason.
Oh, okay.
So I open it anyway, and then I'm like, it's like 50 notifications for birthday stuff. I'm like, oh, that's great. It's very nice, but now I got to read them all, and I haven't yet. Usually I do it like 5 days after. That's like normal. Like I remember when I was Facebook active and I'd say happy birthday. And then like 6 days later, it's like a comment. Thanks, Cody. I'm like, for what? There's a lot of messages to go through. And the user interface is like so hard to use. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't even know where to click half the time, but I'll get to it.
It was fun. It was, for me, like I said, sitting out on the patio with the laptop, it was fun. All right, let me get a ruling on you.
Oh yeah.
If somebody you know very well, and I'm not talking about you, someone that maybe you're estranged from, but there wasn't a big fallout. You're just you haven't talked in a long time, and whatever. And they're on Facebook, and they don't wish you a happy birthday. How do you feel about that?
Well, if you're estranged, you probably don't care, right?
That's probably true. But then am I forced to wish them a happy birthday on their birthday?
No.
Am I the bigger person?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think I'm going to go out on a limb. I think one of my brothers did not wish me a happy birthday on any medium.
Uh-oh.
I won't say which.
Didn't even text you?
No, not a word.
I got text.
I'm actually going to look. I've actually been curious. Well, I briefly thought about this for a second. I was like,
I keep track of family. I got text from 3 brothers and a call from the 4th. So all my brothers checked in and my mom was at my house. There was the one year, I don't know if you remember me telling this story, the one year that my mom just texted me. She didn't call, nothing. She just texted me, happy birthday. I'm like, what?
That.
There was no ill will, but it was just,
let's see. You wrote on me.
Yeah. Did Hannah, your sister contacted you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I saw
your mom and dad. Yeah, you were there. Yeah, because you were there. All right.
All right. It looks like Jim Weiser wished me happy birthday. That's awesome.
He wished me one too. It was very nice.
He's the man. What
I like Jim Weiser.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he didn't. Yeah, one of my brothers did not wish me happy birthday in any way, shape, or form.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. He's been kind of a huge asshole lately for no reason. So to everybody. So I don't really care that much.
Oh, okay.
But what can you do? So
you can't do anything. You move on.
Mania. It's dumb. Anyway, I don't really talk to this brother much anymore because he doesn't make an effort to ever reach out to anyone. So to very directly answer your question, I mean, I don't really care. I will still send him a happy birthday text because I'm not, 5.
Because you're a bigger man.
I am a bigger man. So,
a bigger man.
If it's somebody if it's somebody you really genuinely don't care about and you're just like, you know what, I'm done with you, then don't do it. You don't have to feel obligated, but you are the bigger man if you send a little happy birthday note. I
figure Facebook one. Facebook is the easiest way because you don't really expect any sort of response.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, I happen to see on Facebook today that it's your birthday. There it is. Happy birthday.
I forgot my parents sometimes watch this. I hope they didn't hear me talk trash about my brother, but he is an asshole.
You didn't call him out by name. It's a 50-50 chance they're going to guess the right one.
I think everyone knows. It doesn't matter.
Your family knows which one. Everybody else is like, Cody has 2 brothers. Which one could it be? Oh, dun, dun, dun. The mystery. It's a cliffhanger. Figure it out. Figure out which one of Cody's brothers didn't wish him a happy birthday.
Everyone else is like, why? Here's everyone else is like, why does the VPN for my work laptop shut off at literally this exact time every night? Like, who needs to re-verify their information at 9 at night?
That's weird.
So I'll probably get kicked off and frozen for like 10 seconds, but it'll load back up.
Oh, you should see my setup now. I got 2 monitors. Got the man, I am nonstop with the technology.
I showed you my studio, right? So I got to see yours now. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see my studio. It's very hard. I don't know if I can lift up the camera and move it around. But Cody actually was very helpful to me with this process because I know when it's time for me to do anything tech-wise, I either ask Cody or Craig because they both know a lot more about tech than I do. I ended up having to – so I get this monitor This is the thing with me. And I don't know if you...
Chat box. Where'd the chat go?
Where's the chat box?
Did the chat disappear? Wasn't there usually a chat on the right side of the screen?
It's there. I'm seeing it.
Oh, I don't see it. That's
and
weird.
I see the whole big stream of chat over.
It probably just reset for me.
Yeah, it's because there's chat all the way on the. There's chat all the way on the right, and there's chat on the right next to our.
All right. It's me. Anyway, what I was going to say is you've seen my setup now. I got to come see yours.
Yes. It's well, I was saying you helped me out. I spent way too much time. I can't tell if you're frozen. I think you might be frozen.
Now?
Well, just
right
on
now?
On the screen that I'm looking at, the main restream screen, it does look like you are, but the little one, the on-air one, you're not. And as I'm looking at Facebook, it doesn't appear that you are either.
All right.
So I'll just look at that one. Anyway, so I spent way too much time trying to figure out what kind of monitor to get, a second monitor. Everybody said, you don't need an expensive second monitor. You just need one. So I finally ordered the monitor and it's coming. The problem comes because my computer is one of these all-in-ones, which we've had for a long time. It works great. It's an HP. I'm very happy with the computer, but it doesn't have the plug in the back. I think what's a VPG or whatever, the plug with the weird prongs and the two screws that screw in.
VGA,
yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the VGA plug. So I'm like, oh no. Thankfully, I looked this up before the monitor came. So I knew I was going to have to figure something out. And thanks to you sending me to Micro Center, big plug for Micro Center, ding, ding, ding. I looked on their website and they had an adapter that goes from the VGA into a USB port in my computer.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. That's going to work great. Sure. Except so I order it fast because this was Thursday and I had a training session with this side hustle that I'm doing. And so I needed, and the monitor was coming. So I needed everything ready. I order it and they have an 18-minute, fulfillment thing. So I'm like, great. The store is about a half hour from the house. So I quick order this and I head out. I get the email when I'm halfway there. Your order is ready. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this is great. Because on the website, VGA to USB adapter, fantastic. I walk in, the woman, they've got a security person sitting there. And I said, oh, I have an order to pick up online. Go right over there. I go over there. The gentleman helps me. I said, am I going to need software? No, you're going to plug this in and go. This is fantastic. Oh, man, I'm back in the car. Boom, I'm home less than an hour. The monitor is now on my doorstep. So I bring the monitor up. I get it. Everything's ready. It's all going so smoothly. I plug the end of the adapter into the VGA and I go to plug it into the USB. It's the new USB, the USB 3, the tiny little USB.
Oh, the USB-C.
Yes.
You need a USB to USB-C adapter like this right here. You need one of these.
If I had one of those, that would have helped me immensely.
Yeah. I've got adapters up the butt over here. I have so many adapters in my office. Some adults have toolboxes. I have adapters. I have bags and bags of USB cables, VGA cables, adapters, HDMI. Like you didn't.
Yeah, so I had this USB plug on the end, and I needed one of the old style ones, one of the big ones. You know what I mean? A USB 2, and not a USB 3.
Yeah.
So
can't trust technology these days because you got to adapt everything.
Well, and I can't read that. You know that about me. That's troublesome when you're trying to order. So now I go back on. So I text the person that I'm going to be doing this training with. I go, there might be an issue with my second monitor. I go back on Micro Center, and this is not Micro Center's fault at all. This is all me. I ordered the wrong one in my haste.
Mm-hmm.
So I find one, and I'm like, oh, all right. This I'm looking closely. I look at the picture. Good. I order it. I get back in the car. Now I drive back to Micro Center. Now it's later in the day, so traffic is heavier. But I get there, jump out of the car. I run in. Like, okay, I got this one. It's wrong. I need to return. Okay, go back. I go to the thing. I talk to this young lady. Okay, I ordered this one. I need to exchange it for this. She brings out, thank God I asked a question because she brought out this one that I ordered, which I guess I thought would work. It looked like it would work. And I asked her a question. She goes, I don't know. Let me get a sales rep for you. Thank God. Because the guy walks up and he goes, oh, he sees the price. And I had paid a sale price. Well, it turns out I was paying a sale price because 1, it was old and returned. And 2, it wouldn't work on Windows 10. It would only work up to Windows 8. He goes, first he says, well, I can get you one a lot cheaper than this. I'm like, okay. He goes, and that's not going to work on Windows 10. I'm like, oh no. So he walks me over. We're in the aisle. And at first I'm like, he can't find it. They don't have it. And he's looking and he finds it. And it was like $10 more than the original one I got, which was no big deal. And I'm grilling him with questions. So this is going to work. This is all I need. This is, yes, everything is fine. This is going to work. Any sort of software? No. Just plug and play. It's fine. Okay. Well, I get home. There is new software, and the directions say just put in the disk and upgrade and everything. And it worked. Then I had to figure out how to use a second monitor. But man, now I'm rolling. And I got a green screen coming tomorrow. So maybe next week I'll have some crazy background. You don't know what's going to be going on.
Techno wizard over there. Look at that.
It's amazing. It's amazing the things I've had to learn just to survive in this world. I don't want to be Soylent Green. I need to stay up to snuff a little bit.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Micro Center, they will hook you up.
They were great. And I could see if you really need, like, one, if you knew everything about it, they'd be very helpful and they have everything you need. And if you didn't know anything about it, like me, they were very patient.
Mm-hmm.
The guy did say, well, you're going to get a survey. And when they ask, if I was helpful, could you say yes? And I was like, nope, absolutely not. Give me this.
Yeah, I don't go there that often because I know it will burn a hole in, like, my money will turn into other things. My money will go away. I'll end up with like a new computer, new gaming rig, 4K graphics card or something. I don't even know. I think I have a 4K graphics card or 2. But anyway, point is,
I have no idea what any of that means, what you just said.
It's fine. Doesn't matter. But point is, if you're a computer nerd, you like computers, it's a good center for that.
It is a great center for that. And, like I said, they were very helpful and it works. So thank God this computer this all-in-one had about 87 USB hubs because I've got the wireless mouse plugged in one. I've got the camera plugged in one. I've got my mixer plugged in one. I've got, there's stuff everywhere. And I still have one vacant USB port in case something were to happen. Mike says 8K or nothing.
Yeah, I should probably go 8K or 16K.
I don't know. It's weird on my on your frame here in the main box that I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
It's you're still frozen.
No, I'm glitching out too. The chat is it's all weird for me. Doesn't matter. You can hear me, right?
Oh, I can hear you and I can see on Facebook. So that's
I can refresh. I can refresh my page, or you could turn me off and back on again.
Let me try that. Let me turn you off and back on. There we go. Oh man, we haven't had this kind of technical difficulty in ages. Nope, that didn't help.
What?
But you're still live. We can hear you. And that's all that matters.
Let me refresh.
As I'm looking at the Facebook feed, you are moving. So it doesn't matter. I see how you are. Hold on.
I'm back.
Yeah. Now it works.
Yeah, let's go, dude. Now I see the thing too. Good. We're good. We are all good.
Perfect.
We're golden oldies. We're in the oldies station. 9.999. Repeating, of course, like a 3/3 digit, not rounded.
Huh? So now that the baby is 7 months old, is there any big strides that you need to report? Is he walking yet? Is he doing math?
He climbs up on everything. I walked into his room this morning and he's like standing with his little hands on the edge of the crib, just staring at me. Well, took him to the pediatrician like a week and a half ago. And I was like, and she was like, oh yeah, there's a 6 month checkup. It was a little late. 6 months checkout. He's, he better watch out. He's going to start crawling soon. And I was like, listen, this baby is crawling everywhere, all over the place. I set him down in the living room. I turn around. I walk in the kitchen to grind some coffee. I turn around and the kid's right behind me. I mean, he's just zipping around. He is all he wants to do is stand up. His goal in life is to stand up. He pushes up on everything he can. He like the staircase. Some babies climb stairs. Okay.
Right.
He doesn't do that. He makes a beeline for the stairs, and then he puts his hands up on it, and then he stands with his arms on the second step. He's not trying to climb the stairs. He's just trying to use the stairs to stand up, because that's his whole purpose in life is standing. So he has a handful. Yeah.
He's got to be moving fast, crawling. Wait till once he starts walking, man, you are in trouble. Are you going to put big gates at the top and bottom of the stairs so he can't get on the stairs and hurt himself?
We're going to have to put gates everywhere. Because my wife started a new job this week.
Oh, and congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. We'll tell you all about that later. But long story short, she's out of the house now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she leaves at like 6:30.
Oh, good Lord.
So, yeah. So it's a short commute. It's just a job. It's like 8 minutes away, but on a bike. But it's like it just starts early. So, I got baby duty. So that's why I don't know if I'll make it till 10 tonight, but last night I was in bed. I was asleep at this time. At this time last night I was asleep, actually, surprisingly. But
no, it's not surprising at all. What time does he get up?
Well, yesterday 7:30, today 6. And I was up, and I actually I was making breakfast, making some coffee. I kind of heard him in his little nursery. He wasn't like crying, and I was like, I've got like 20, 30 minutes. I can like have some coffee, get breakfast, do my insulin and stuff. Maybe like play 10 minutes of a video game, have a little bit of me time.
Yeah, good luck.
And he keeps making noise, but he's not like crying. And I was like, let's see what's going on. But he started to get a little whinier as it went on. So I'm like, okay, he's not like ready to get up, but let's see what's going on. So I go upstairs. He's a big smile. He's standing. And I was like, well, let's see how his diaper's doing. I have PTSD from that diaper. The diaper was a thermonuclear weapon. It was biological warfare. Like nothing Saddam Hussein could have developed could have come near. I literally almost vomited immediately. I opened both windows and the door. I used 19 wet wipes minimum just to get it. Finally got it done. We got one of those like sealed canister trash cans for the baby diapers. So like no smell comes out, right? I get everything in there. I get everything wiped down, sanitized, wash my hands thoroughly, like seal that thing, open the windows, walk out the room. I walked in 15 minutes later. The place still reeked. It was, I don't know.
What had you fed him the night before?
I don't know.
I don't know. Poppers?
It was one of the worst things any human has ever had to go through. So that was how my day started. Very cute baby, very fun. Played with him after that. It was great. He's standing, he's laughing, giggling, we're playing games. It's fun, jumping up and down. It's great. But anyway, so we started a new nanny this week. So we have a nanny that comes in. She comes at 9 and then watches until 3. So
so you can work because you have to work.
Yeah, yes, I have to work. The idea being that usually at 3 he's taking a nap, so I can work through the end of his nap, and then maybe throw him in a pack and play, get another half hour, 45 minutes of work done. Take a break, and I can always catch up at like 8 or 9 if I need to. I can do it later. Like I can work whenever. Right. Yeah, that didn't really work out today. He decided he didn't want to take a 3 o'clock nap, so we're gonna extend the nanny's hours. It's a work in progress, but
cute nanny.
No. I wanted to get a European au pair, but my
of course.
Wife shot that down.
She didn't go for that,
Swedish, like just the 18, 19-year-old Swedish.
Yeah, or something. Some young girl who's trying to work her way up.
Yeah, it's support the youths.
Sure. You hang on to their passports so they can't get too mouthy.
No, this is a very nice lady. She's a grandmother herself and is really into early child education and development.
Oh, so very nice.
Yeah, so she's just really interested in it and reading a lot of books about it and stuff, and just very like grandmotherly and attentive and sings to them and plays with them.
it's good too, because you're still in the house. I mean, you're working in the house, so there's not, if anything were to happen, you're still there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it must ease both your and your lovely bride's minds, rather than just he's got to go, you know, to daycare or whatever. There's daycare, but it's in the house and you're in the house. So
yeah, exactly. And my office and my balcony overlook the backyard, right? And we're like, we want him to have as much outside time as possible. So they're outside. I mean, I can literally see them in the corner of my eye, you know? So it's, you know, there's nothing to worry about anyway. And we're in a very safe neighborhood. So it's all good. It's all working out really well so far, you know?
So are you going to get those gates? We had gates at the top and the bottom of the stairs.
Well, we got to get the gates, but we got to get like a giant like Thunderdome cage. Cause right now he's so big, like I put him in the pack and play and it's like a joke. He's a giant baby, right? He's a 20-pound giant baby. He's growing so fast.
20-pound giant baby.
He's getting up in it. And then I like put my hand in and he started pushing up on my hand like he was trying to pull his whole body out of the pack and play. And it's like, dude, like he's so strong. Oh,
he will not be contained by your, you know, the man cannot keep him in a cage. He's got to get out.
Dude, he's like the Incredible Hulk. He's just like hulking out all the time. All the time. So yeah, it's and I cannot put him in my office for 5 seconds or he is just something will get destroyed or he will injure himself somehow. So
now that we're all vaccinated, we can actually get together. And I saw him the one time and I was so terrified that I was going to get him sick that I did not enjoy the visit as much as I wish. So now it's good. Now everybody's vaccinated. You know?
Pretty much. I mean, my wife's going to be fine. So
we can sit outside.
No. I mean, because she had it.
Right. Yeah. So we're all good.
We're at that point.
I'm at the point now where I'm, you know, we actually ate inside that last meal in New Orleans because everything else we had done outside. Everything was outside. But then it came time for Monday night, the last meal, and Debbie really wanted some char-grilled oysters. So we went to a place. We didn't go into the quarter. We went out to the location in the suburbs, and the tables were all very well spaced out. Everybody had masks on. We had both been vaccinated anyway, so it wasn't that. But we were back in the corner. We were all the way back in the corner, not by anybody, and it was like, okay. Now, I'm not going to do that all the time, but
sure,
you know, it was like, okay, we did it. And again, I got to remember the two of us now are vaccinated. So we're pretty safe, you know?
The other, asymptomatic people with COVID, if you're asymptomatic, you're far less likely to actually spread it yourself. And then you put the vaccine on top of that, which really reduces symptoms. So
right.
Like, you know, I mentioned this a few weeks ago, right? There was some initial research, a lot of numbers being like, if you're vaccinated, you're probably not going to be as highly transmissible as other people. So I consider myself so safe. So it's funny when we sat down for the so I was invited to dinner after with the bride and groom on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Which was very nice. So it was the bridegroom, me, their buddy that did tech, and then they just invited the photographer because why not? So it was so funny because like most of the meal, their friend next to me just kept putting his mask on. I don't know how he drank his beer. No idea. Can't figure it out. And I'm like in the middle of everybody. And like at this point, I'm vaccinated. I've been in the room with them for a while. You know, I didn't wear a mask during the ceremony.
Oh no.
Like, I'm just like over it. Well, I mean, I'm vaccinated. They were half vaxxed. Actually, the bride and groom got their first dose like 2 days before the wedding. So
okay,
you know, they're on the way. So like, you know, I got to the point. I sat down in the restaurant. I just like took my mask. I was just like, I don't care. Like I'm good. Like I'm not going to give it to anybody. I'm fully vaccinated. I may have had it if I live with someone that had it.
Right.
You know, maybe I don't know. You guys have been hanging out with me. We're all young. Like just every variable. I'm just like, this is fine. I'm gonna and like dude.
And yet they're blaming your age group for the uptick now.
Probably no. And like anybody watching this, like if you've listened to any of the show, right? I like interview epidemiologists.
No, you are very you are very responsible.
I've been
very responsible.
hyper careful. But like I just hit a wall. It was just like all the stress from the wedding. And then I was like, I am in a safe place. Like I am a safe person. I'm sitting across from you. We're gonna have to take the masks off to eat anyway. Let's just ditch them. Let's just ditch them and eat. And
well, that's why I bought a mask that says I'm vaccinated, and I wear it. I wear it a lot, just into places. And I don't care about wearing them. Every place we went, even through the South, there were signs everywhere. Oh yeah, you got to wear a mask. You got to do that. So, I don't have any problem. But yeah,
even the South. We got to get together soon because, like you just said, you busted out of Bourbon County for your birthday.
Yeah,
dude,
man.
I haven't had a stout in like a month and a half. It's not stout season anymore.
It's always stout season.
Well, we got to hurry then.
All right. Listen,
got April.
I got him. I got him. You got him. We just listen, we're fancy now. We got us a little outdoor rug for the deck to put under the patio set. One of those like plastic thing that the water will go through. Oh man, it's fancy Dan time. It's like we're living in the Palace of Versailles.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
So I got the rug came today, so I rolled it out and I was like, oh, it's getting windy because it was supposed to rain. So then I was like, well, I got to get the patio stuff out and put it on so the rug doesn't blow away. So now the patio set's out and the deck is all set. And so, now we can ready to go.
All right.
You got your big yard. Well, listen, I don't want the youngster jumping over the fence or, running out in the street. I don't know what he's up to.
He's very funny with dogs.
Or does he like dogs?
Well, he doesn't register them. All right. So here's the thing. My parents have a golden retriever who's very like licks your face, very affectionate. Right.
Right.
So like we put him down on the floor and he's sitting there in the living room and he's just sitting there being a little baby. Maybe he has something in his hand or whatever. He's scratching the carpet. The dog runs over wagging her tail, like she'll like sniff his little face, lick his face like twice. And at no point does he look at the dog. Like he'll maybe glance at the dog, but not with any sense of like curiosity. Like he'll just kind of look kind of like spaced out and then go back to whatever he was doing. Like just doesn't interact. Yet here at the home, if you turn on the robot vacuum, this kid, it is his entire world. Like he now knows where the robot vacuum is parked and he'll crawl over to it and like hit it a bunch of times and like then it'll like roll around and then he'll stare at it. Like the robot vacuum is the greatest babysitter I have, honestly.
That's perfect. Why'd you get a nanny? Just have the robot vacuum go around all day. Hold on one second. I have to let Gidget out of the office because a paper the wind is picking up. So a paper flew over near her and now she's very upset and needs to leave the room immediately. So hold on and let her out. She's I don't know if you can see her walking behind me. She will not lay back on her bed because a paper blew on it.
Oh,
so, give me 1 second.
That is a high maintenance dog. Wow. He just turned off the whole thing there. That's a lot. That's cool. Yeah, man. Wow. It's 9:43. Yeah. This is like, a couple nights ago over the weekend, like dude, my bedtime, I'm a late night person. I'm a night owl. I go to bed at like midnight, 12:30. I have a hard time falling asleep most nights, but no, yesterday, after the 7:30 wake up call and the watching the baby, and all that, I was just like, dude, it's 9:00. I'm getting in bed. So
I got it. So we'll start wrapping it up because you're.
No, yeah, I think we hit on a lot of stuff. We talked about our.
I will say this, if you will allow me a plug, a big plug. Yeah. And I'm going to share my screen, Cody. Now I got to tell you, I did not make this flyer. And all I can say is the guy who made this flyer must have just gone to the Facebook page and pulled every radio shot I ever had. So on Saturday, that's what's going on with that. It's flashing around. I'm going to end that share for a minute. Yeah, I'm going to end that share. See if we'll try it again because it looks fine here. We'll see if it works. There we go. So I am Saturday. I am returning to the stage because I'm all vaccinated. I'm inoculated. So I am going to be at Tuffy's Lounge in Wilmington, Illinois. That's right, Cody. Tuffy's Lounge in Wilmington, Illinois for a big show with Jim Flanagan and Bill Brady is the MC and the host. So it is Saturday night. You can go to the Brian Noonan Show Facebook page, see all the things. But yeah, if you look, it's there's an old Easter photo from when we did the Easter show, and there's that was a show after the Blackhawks Stanley Cup rally, and this is one from TMJ, and then this is me, and I don't look anything like that, any of those anymore. But yeah, so Saturday night I'm doing stand-up again, which will be exciting.
Are you going to email me those details or put them on the Facebook page?
They are the flyers up on the Facebook page. Yep.
What am I doing Saturday?
I don't know. Are you going to drive all the way down to Wilmington?
How far away is Wilmington?
It's down near Braidwood. It's on 55 South.
I have no idea what any of that means. 15 hours, 955.5 miles. Oh, that's Wilmington, North Carolina.
That's New Orleans. Yeah, this is Wilmington, Illinois. I was going to say 15 hours for a one-nighter. What am I starting out again? It is weird that because it is like I'm starting stand-up again, because I'm trying to find out bookers and things like that. And it's like, oh man, what a nightmare. I remember what a nightmare. Now it's all coming back to me, what a nightmare this whole thing was, except for being on stage. The being on stage part was always the easy part. Everything else surrounding it was nightmarish. So yeah, we'll let Cody get to sleep, and we'll be back next week. So that's that. Don't forget, as we go to we'll put up the big captions one more time since Cody is here. Check out Cody every day on the Curiosity Daily podcast. It's curiositydaily.com. It's right there. You can listen to him every day. Get smarter. That's always good, to try to get smart. Our good friend Craig is not here tonight, but you can listen to Craig all this week from 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern on WIBC. He's doing the morning show there. The reviews are in. I talked to Craig today. So far, so good. Things are going very well. Not a surprise, but it's always nice to hear from the bosses that they appreciate what you're doing. So, so Craig's there. And I will be on WTMJ for a short show Friday from 6 to 7:30 before the Brewers game. And I have some more coming up a few more times this month. So I will let you know, obviously, as all of those are coming up, so you can listen to WTMJ.com. Just keep checking the Facebook page. And that's that. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the baby. I'm looking forward to us now being able to sit down and have that Bourbon County Stout and celebrate our birthdays and see each other in person now that we are all vaccinated.
I like that. I just whipped out my calendar.
Hello.
And, maybe the weekend of the 17th will make something happen. We'll see.
All right, we'll do our best.
Next weekend, 2 points of order. One,
yes,
we'll see how this week pans out with the nanny and the parenting and the whole dad thing. And next week, I may propose an earlier start time for the QuarantineCast.
That we could do that, and I may propose a Tuesday night instead of Wednesday night. So we have things to speak of. But yes, I would not be averse to starting earlier since your home situation has changed, and it is obvious that this a little later. So we can change the start time, we can change the length time. These are all things that you and I can discuss.
We'll see, because we also got to nail down a name for this.
Yeah, the new name is coming. I figured, well, since we're still under the pandemic, we can, there wasn't a huge rush, but I'd like to get that. We got that new name coming. So with the new name will come some other changes, but the basic show will remain the same. Cody and I and Craig will be coming back hopefully in May. So that's good news too. And then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So we'll have we'll actually have a meeting this week, which means we'll text each other.
Yeah.
That's a meeting.
We don't talk.
What are we having, a Zoom? What are we going to get on some sort of thing? No, we're not going to do that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for always participating. Cody, happy birthday again, belatedly to you, and happy Easter. And congrats to the wife on her new gig. And listen, I think that's it, right? That's all. So have a wonderful week. We will talk to you again next week. Any changes or any updates, you can find them right on the Facebook page, Brian Noonan Show Facebook page. And that's that. So have a lovely week. We'll talk to you again. Good night.
And stop, won't stop, game stop.